this week you've been doing a lovely series on raising the children, and presently you're now up to teenagers and all that. What do you think is the effect you are trying to get with this teaching? What's your goal, rather?
My goal, I don't think it will ever be accomplished.
Okay. You don't think it will ever be accomplished. So
Yep.
why is it a goal then?
Because I am someone that always puts before himself the maximum goals.
Right.
So the goal that I have is the maximum one, and I'm not sure it will be accomplished.
You mean accomplished by you or by generation to come?
At least it might be accomplished in generation to come,
Right.
but maybe not in my life. It might be accomplished in my lifetime to some extent, but
Right.
maybe not fully.
Okay. So can we have the pleasure of hearing the goal?
Why I'm doing the particular one on the family or the general teachings?
The one on the family.
Just the one on the family.
Yeah.
I want to change the world,
Okay.
and that's why I do everything I do. I want to
Right.
change the concept that the world is living by. I want to deliver the world from living by instinct
Right.
and by stimuli. And I want to bring people to understanding that people don't even know they are living by instinct, that they're not living as human beings.
Wow.
And I want to let the world understand the difference between what I call biomass lifestyle
Right.
and so biological mass lifestyle or human lifestyle. I want to let people know that we are made to be humans, to carry the likeness of God and function like God, rather than functioning like biological masses.
Right.
But the way most people live, 99% of people on earth today, is just mainly by instinct, like biomass, especially when it comes to stereotype or stereotypical things like questions like marriage, children. People just live by it according to instinct and culture, or just talk, just what is obtainable, just what people see. People just copy, just like a cartoon. You know, the animals are going to follow in everybody, each other. So that's the way all humanity is living mainly. Maybe 1% are free from that cartoon,
Right.
follower, animal instinct kind of lifestyle. So, and the more the whole humanity is living like that, we will never get to the end of problems that are caused by children, parents, husbands, fathers, and things like that. And the reason is because, as long as you are doing things unconsciously, you are going to be, multiplying sorrow and multiplying tragedy. But, but people will never hear. Some people will hear, but people will never hear. The whole world will never hear me. And I'm going to, after I finish, I'm going to do my best to try to begin to work on the on the multiplication and spreading of the word later on. But I have, apart from the maximum goal, I have minimum goal. The minimum goal is maybe I could help somebody.
Okay.
And the hopeful goal is maybe sometimes somebody will pick it up, or a generation will pick it up and try to understand what I'm talking about. But what I'm talking about is not for this world. It's not for this generation. It's like they are not there yet. It's like, that sometimes when you talk some things that people say you are ahead of your time.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of things that I'm talking about, that I carry, it's like it's ahead of my time.
Right.
And it might be another 500 years or 200 years before people begin to talk like that.
Wow.
Because it is difficult for people in this generation, because they are living by general understanding, by norms and by tradition, rather than by understanding.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting.
For example, if we are talking about what is your goal, one of my goal is that 50% of the people will not even think about marriage.
Okay.
So that they will only think about their purpose for
Right.
creation and live for purpose and for pleasing God and not even bother themselves. And then the other 50% of people, it doesn't have to be like they are married. If they all 100, I'm talking about the population in the world we have now and the way they are now. But if all of them could still be married, 100% could still be married, or 80% the way they are now. But then if they all want to be married, they can still be married, but then they have to be prepared and be ready. And I think because of the human nature of laziness, and because of the human nature of not wanting to, to work hard, and not wanting to choose the hard way, and just wanting to have something for nothing, and just having to go by and cut corners and just do things fast, that's why I say 50% of people would never be ready, because they would never be ready to pay the price for marriage and for marriage to be successful. And when you don't pay the price for marriage to be successful, you are ruining somebody else's life. Either you are ruining the life of the woman, or you are ruining the life of the child that will come after that, or you are ruining the life of the community that is saying that. You are ruining something when you are not doing things with prepared and with understanding. So, but this is a language that is not for today. Now, and also another thing when it comes to marriage that I want to accomplish is the fact that I want to accomplish the fact that every man will understand what it means to be a father.
Right.
And they will understand what it means to be a pillar and a foundation of the society, of the family, and of the woman. That's one of the dreams.
Right.
And another one is that that men would truly relieve all their wives of any pressure in life. That women, for me, my understanding, women are made to be wonderful. They are not made to be carrying all the burden and the pain and the struggle and the overweight down by life struggles. I think they are made to be beautiful. That's why all of them are beautiful. They try to be beautiful. They work on it. That's just, they are soft. That's their nature. They are the weaker vessel, and they are supposed to be taken care of. And they are supposed to be the body, because the Bible says that just relate to your wife as relate to your body. Nobody wishes their skin, body wise. Everybody loves their body soft. That's the way a relationship with a woman is supposed to be. Either the woman is your wife, or the woman is your daughter, or the woman is your mother, or the woman is your sister. So I really wish that it could be like that in real life. And for that to happen, people have to have understanding, both men and women, but especially the men. So that's another thing that I want to happen. And another thing I want to happen is that I want the men to take so much responsibility for the homes, so that the wives will be free enough to take care of the children. Right. And they will not need to be rushing to work like the men, and together, and leaving both men and women rushing to work and leaving children at home, or just giving them over to some people, schools or somewhere. But so that the man or the woman will be able to give their best to their child. And for that, they have to be free from the economic system of the world, or from Uncle Sam's system. So that's my dream. So, but these things, they will never come to pass. But that doesn't make me to stop dreaming. I have to live for something greater than myself. And I have to live and dream of doing something much greater than myself. And for me, for example, going to Nigeria and to bring transformation to Nigeria is much more easier than this one I'm talking about. Right. So that one is, I'm not even thinking that is going to come to pass or not. That one is easy. Right. But I have other projects that are much more difficult than that.